Hello and welcome back to Bricking It. Here's the base for our project. It's going to be a Hogwarts Express. In 2023 we've got this lovely large scale Hogwarts Express, and inside each carriage there's a number of scenes. Each one set in one of these compartments. Quite a nice representation of the Hogwarts compartment, and of course each scene was set individually. So I jumped onto lego.com, found the instruction manual, decided I'd build my own carriage, or at least an internal display of a carriage. Now, as I'm not beholden to the exterior colours, this backside wall can be done in tan as per the one in the movies. So I'm just going to build this up, incorporating some brackets to hold on our book covers, as this is going to be part of my hidden bookshelf display. Just going to plate it off, pop a tile on, because this is where we're going to put the compartment window. It's going to be held on with these snot bricks here. I'm just using this nice dark brown one, so it doesn't quite complete the 8 studs width, but if we put a plate on the bottom and a tile on the top, once we pop that into the frame, it gives us a nice long window, the full width of the carriage centered nicely in the display area. So build up the wall. So there's our compartment window centered nicely. Outside the compartment I've got a train door here, and they look great from the outside, but the inside's not brilliant, not the best thing to look at. So there is an argument to change this and make a brick built one, make it look a bit more like a traditional steam train door, but that's a possible amendment for the future. Just going to plate and tile off the top of the display just to bring it up to an 8 stud height. So it's not an 8 brick height, it's an 8 stud height, so that I can fit half of one of my book covers onto the back. Going to leave these two open to integrate the walls of the compartment. So I based my design largely on what was in the collector's edition Hogwarts Express. I had to shrink and change some of the dimensions. As you can see, this compartment is much smaller. We've only actually got 2 studs of space between each row of chairs, but largely it's the same kind of design. Fortunately, I was missing a couple of these plate 2x2s with only 2 studs on in blue, so I've had to use some black ones on the far end while I wait for the new ones to come. But mostly I'm building up these seats in exactly the same style as in the Hogwarts Express. Now I wanted the backs of these seats to all be showing brown, because obviously in the original model they're back to back with each other, so you don't actually see the internals of these seats, but mine are going to be fully on display, so I wanted the backs to be all in reddish brown. So I've made a few colour swaps based on achieving that goal. Got the arm in there, that raises and lowers just like it does in the main set. That's the first of our seats. All that remains is to build up the rest of the compartment wall. So the seats are built into the main compartment. Just as we build these up, you see it's all reddish brown, so we get a nice same colour background to the compartment back. Just going to put in the top cushions here for the seats. I was working with what I had as much as possible to use up bricks rather than order more. So I've got 1x1s attached to these brackets, where I'd rather, I think, have a 1x2. But it does give a nice cushioned look. Just going to build up the last level of our seating area. Now in the main set, just after this level goes in, where we've got these rail plates just to cap off the top of the seating compartment, they actually switch back into light tan, and I've stayed with reddish brown all the way up to the roof level. I think I might switch that out for some light tan, just to make that distinction between the wooden seat backs and the walls of the compartment. But all of these are details that are in the main Hogwarts Express that I'm replicating. Those two studs on the front are going to hold this dark tan tile, and in the main set that's actually a stickered piece showing one of the landscapes around Hogwarts. If I can get hold of a Hogwarts Express sticker sheet for a reasonable price, then I think I'll be replacing those. Now obviously my compartment doesn't have a door, just going to use these pieces just to pop the extra arm of the seat on. And I could have put a door, you can see I've got that one stud of space, I could have put the windows and doors, but you just can't see into the compartment effectively then. I mean, it looks more accurate, but it's less visually useful, and as the purpose of this is to display minifigures, I don't want to obscure the view of them. So there's our compartment, compact. As I said, there is an argument for increasing the size of the compartment, gives a bit more room to manoeuvre. Here's the trolley witch, she's from set 75955. Adjusted the contents of her trolley. She can stand in the hallway. She only really takes up about 3 studs of width, so if I wanted to keep her in the MOC, then I could move her up if I decide to expand the compartment. This looping is actually from this book that's only just recently come out. It's the same torso as in the large Hogwarts Express, but without the printed legs, and it allows me to get that minifigure without the hefty price tag of buying it from Bricklink for the original one that came in the main set. So there we go. We're set up as a Prisoner of Azkaban scene, so why don't we add a Dementor in instead of the Trolley Witch. And there we can see our onboard Hogwarts Express display. Still got a couple of bits to do, so let's sort those out now. Last tile, just to keep everything secure. And of course I need to put the back on, so this can be put in as part of my hidden display. I'm using a dark blue plate as it's going to be seen through the window. And rather than go with 4 wide books, I've gone with one really fat volume to fill up that space. And on the other side, behind the door of the carriage, I've got another one in black. So we're going to have 2 really wide books on our bookshelf display. The rest of the space isn't going to be wasted. Currently my Ford Anglia is only a half model because I didn't want it to take up quite as much space. I'm reconsidering, possibly I'm going to go back to rebuilding it as a full model and giving it its own space to be stored, but at the moment it stores in like this, and the last bit of space is taken up with the entering platform 9 3/4 MOC that I showed a couple of weeks ago. And there's our 2 wide book covers. Discovered that while I was putting this together, I'd come up with a bit of a happy accident. This black cover can also give you the impression of a train roof. I could pop it on here like that for a bit more of a train-like look. Not that it helps a huge amount with seeing what's going on inside the carriage, but it's something that we can do. There we go. That's our Inside Hogwarts Express MOC. I will, I think, do a little follow-up on this where I recolour the tops of the compartment and possibly consider expanding the compartment area and reducing the hallway. I've just got to come up with a way to build the train door. If you've enjoyed this video, please do leave us a like, comment below on what you think of the MOC, and to see more Wizarding World hidden builds, please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.